And with this, we will be resuming our panels, and this is the final panel of the evening, and we're very happy to be hosting all of you. And as this is the last panel, we might not get another chance. I would like to thank you again for all your patience and your support so far. So this panel is titled Bridging Assistive Technology and Corporate Inclusion, and this panel will explore how technology facilitates inclusion in the corporate environment by removing barriers for people with disabilities. And this panel will be moderated by Pankaj Mehdirata, who is the Director Operations at IDEA. And sir, I welcome you on the dais. He will be joined by panelists Mr. Praveen Karn, AVP and Group Head Sustainability and CSR Minda Foundation Inclusion. He will be joining us online. Mr. Hani Bakchandani, Torchit Company. He will also be joining us online. Mr. Praveen Kumar, Chairman and Managing Director of Alimco Company. Mr. Amit, Senior Scientist of AMTZ. Ms. Sugandha Sukritarag, Founder and CEO of AMBA. Ms. Richa Bansal, Founder and Director of Sarthi. Mr. Jayashil Shah, Founder and CEO, iSurveillance. I invite you all on the dais if you're present with us here today. And thank you very much. I will now hand the mic over to the moderator.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's my absolute pleasure to welcome you all to this insightful session of Assistive Technology and Corporate World Linkages. Today, we are here to explore a critical intersection, how innovation in assistive technology and the corporate world can come together for shaping an inclusive workplace and creating new economic opportunities for people with disabilities. Today, we are blessed to have a panel comprising of mix of people who work from both their minds and their hearts. So we would like to start the discussion now without much further delay. I would like to welcome Mr. Hani Bakchandani from Torchit to speak on his topic, which is assistive technology and corporate world linkages about the Torchit model. You're welcome, sir. Please go ahead, sir.
Yeah. Namaste everyone, and I'm so sorry, because of urgent visa issue, I have to travel back to Ahmedabad. Otherwise, I have booked the tickets to Delhi, and I should be there as a president. Okay. So thank you everyone for inviting me, and thank you IDEA for conducting this event. So Torchit is a social startup working towards empowerment and inclusion of persons with disability by providing most innovative and affordable assistive solutions so they can live a life with more independence and dignity. So how we provide these assistive devices? Like we provide these assistive devices in all the sectors, like all disabilities we have impacted. So if you allow, I can share my screen. Ma'am, organizers can allow.
Yes, sir, please.
Yeah. So Torchit started with a single product, and now we have more than 700 solutions. And we are now considering as a solution company for persons with disability, how they can live a life with more independence and barrier-free. So if you can, so let me present verbally as well. So our first product was Sarthi. Sarthi help a visually impaired person to walk independently in any scenario. Coming to the point, a visually impaired person or the persons with disability, there are millions of population, and majorly they are coming from low income groups, and always they are dependent on mobility, education, healthcare, anything they want to do, they are dependent. So this technology is bridging a gap and they can do things simply, like a visually impaired person can visualize, a hearing impaired person can hear, or a speech impaired person can speak through the use of different technologies. So this is the power of technology which we are providing, and which a lot of assistive tech startups are providing. And because of this bridging the gap, they are able to perform equivalent to a sighted person, or equivalent to other everywhere, like anywhere. So there are a couple of examples, even including Torchit, like more than 40-45% staff here at Torchit are persons with disability. And I am happy to share, we are not a government organization, we are not a private, we are not an NGO, we are not any other social company, we are a for-profit company, for-profit tech company. Why we hire our persons with disability? Because they are performing, or they are performing better than other people. So that's why they are with us. So we not to consider that we are doing we are having a charity, or we are having something. We don't have any budget or grants to hire them. We are hiring because they are performing is equivalent to other peers. So this is what technology is bringing if we provide equal opportunities, they are providing 100% in any scenario. And I'm happy to share a lot of other such examples, like if we provide proper ecosystem, like simple example, if we provide AI glasses, AI readers, a visually impaired person can read any printed document, or it's a game changing in terms of education. I can share a couple of examples, like today a visually impaired person are giving exams without a scribe. So if I'm a visually impaired person and I'm giving an exam without a scribe, so how confident I will be? So which company will not allow me in terms of, so this is all about confidence. What technology is bringing is confidence to them. Apart from that, the main part, say example, a recent scenario, TVS, like a company based out of Chennai, Tamil Nadu, with our sign language, real-time sign language software, they hired more than 600 hearing impaired people. So this is the examples of technology, how this sign language software, a real-time sign language interpreter software, is able to hire 600, and within the next 3 to 6 months, they are planning to hire more 600 people. So more than 1200 jobs are being created with this one single software. A recent example. So like this, we have impacted more than 500,000 lives with the help of technologies. And I can say, like, we have not just impacted 500,000 lives, we have touched 500,000 families. So with our product, a visually impaired person can walk independently. With our AI glasses, they can able to read any document. They can able to buy any product independently, like anything. With our products, children with special needs are, we have designed a lot of kits for children with special needs. And it is enhancing that cognitive development, cognitive learning development, fine motor skills, and a lot of other things. So this is how technology and assistive solutions are bridging the gap to hire, like to empower them and provide a little confidence. I can do it. So that just little confidence make them independent, financially independent as well, and they can live a life with more dignity. So I stop myself and would love to listen to a very prominent panel here. Like, I'm blessed to be a part of this. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. We are glad to have you here. And our next panelist is going to be Mr. Amit Kumar, Head of the Department, Assistive Technology Center, AMTZ. He's been the head of Assistive Technology Center at AMTZ, world's largest ecosystem for medical technology. He's a veteran Navy officer and a leading advocate for disability, accessibility, assistive technology, and inclusive sports. At AMTZ, Andhra Pradesh MedTech Zone, he has played a key role in establishing prosthetics and orthotics manufacturing and clinical facilities, ensuring innovative and affordable mobility solutions for individuals with disability. Amit sir, you are welcome. We are pleased to have you here. We are honored, sir.
So thank you very much. A very warm good evening to all. So I am standing here again after an inspiration talk by Lama regarding the big machine. So I am standing here again to talk about my big machine, okay, and how it works. So my big machine is AMTZ, Andhra Pradesh MedTech Zone. So I'll start with a video to have an overview of what is AMTZ and what it does.
सुनता रहे जो सामने मेरे खड़े तो खाक में मिलाए हिम्मत तेरी बढ़ती रहे खुदा तेरी सुनता रहे जो सामने मेरे खड़े तो खाक में मिलाए बढ़ाए जा खुशी के गीत गाए जा ये जिंदगी है कौम की कौम पे लुटाए जा बढ़ाए जा खुशी के गीत गाए जा ये जिंदगी है कौम सुनता रहे जो सामने तेरे खड़े तो खाक में मिलाए हिम्मत तेरी बढ़ती रहे खुदा तेरी सुनता रहे जो सामने तेरे खड़े तो खाक में मिलाए बढ़ाए जा खुशी के गीत गाए जा ये जिंदगी है कौन की कौन पे लुटाए जा बढ़ाए जा खुशी के गीत गाए जा ये जिंदगी है कौन की कौन पे लुटाए जा
Thank you. So I'll quickly run you through my presentation. So as mentioned in this video, so AMTZ Andhra Pradesh MedTech Zone is India's largest medical devices manufacturing ecosystem. So this zone was inaugurated in the year 2018 by then Chief Minister Sri Chandrababu Naidu ji. So it's a 275 acres campus. So we are an aggregator of more than 150 companies within the campus for manufacturing of medical devices. So we have companies within the zone who are manufacturing the N95 masks, PP kits, 2 companies who are manufacturing MRI machines, CT scanners, heart valves, cardiac stents. Okay, so this is the scale of work which we are doing. So this Andhra Pradesh MedTech Zone is having around 22 scientific centers which is available to all the manufacturing partners. So these 22 scientific centers are supported by various ministries under Government of India. So these are the sister institution which work with AMTZ. So we have the Kalam Institute of Health Technology, which is the policy governing body advisory to Government of India on medical devices. So we have the presence of World Trade Center at AMTZ, fostering international collaboration for medical solutions. We have 2 incubation centers to support any startups, any entrepreneurs with disability, or any innovator coming up with an innovative idea for a product development, be it medical technologies, be it assistive technologies. So we have 2 incubation centers, Midi Valley Incubation Center supported by Niti Aayog and Bio Valley Incubation Center supported by BIRAC. So these incubation centers can incubate the innovators, be part of the research and development, and be part of the product and development. And this entire cost of R&D and cost of product development is borne by these incubation centers. We also have the WHO Collaborating Center. So we are the only WHO Collaborating Center in medical health innovation. We have the your Indian Biomedical Skill Consortium imparting suitable trainings to the biomedical engineers. We also have our own Kalam certification centers for any of the manufacturing partners requiring any quality management certifications, or in terms of support of any of the manufacturing licenses or regulatory licenses that are required by our startups or any of the manufacturing partners. So I head the department for Assistive Technology Center. So under this Assistive Technology Center, so we have various sub-centers. We have the Artificial Limb Center. We have the Center for Advanced 3D Printing Processes. We have a support ecosystem for startups. We have support system for manufacturing partners. We have certain facilities like foot mapping machine. We have collaboration with the Mahavir Viklang Samiti for Jaipur manufacturing. So cosmetic restoration, pet processes, these are all included under your Assistive Technology Center. So since inception of this your Assistive Technology Center, we have conducted more than 25 camps, okay, supported more than 2,000 beneficiaries, provided them assistive aids assistive aids of around 3,000 plus devices through various CSR activities, government support. So this is one of our flag product. Okay, recently we have done the designing and we have received the BRICS most outstanding project award. So it's a solar based tricycle, so powered with both solar and also powered with battery. So we have already supplied around 100 units to Nagpur, inaugurated by Sri Nitin Gadkari ji. So why we are here? Why AMTZ is here? So we had a recent collaboration with Idea Foundation, and it has opened the doors for various other segments of association we had, in terms of opportunities, in terms of entrepreneurship, in terms of employment, in terms of wellness. So with the collaboration with Idea Foundation, and we are very fortunate to have him in our as in our partner. So we have signed up an MOU. Okay, so under this MOU, there are a lot of such initiatives we are working with the guidance of IDEA. So we had also invited IDEA Foundation during our recently hosted WHO Innovation Forum, wherein the entrepreneurs with disabilities were able to showcase some of their products, and it was a huge success. So this is one of the major scheme which we are working along with ICMR with the guidance of IDEA and other stakeholders. So this is a very unique scheme which we are jointly working with ICMR as an co-owner, and supported with various stakeholders. So this purple certification building schemes mandates government institutions, healthcare facilities, manufacturing companies, or even your medical devices to be accessible and inclusive. So we are very fortunate that under the International Accreditation Forum, which AMTZ is part of, we have the privilege to own any government policy. So we have the privilege to make any government policies, and we also have the authority to be we can also be an implementation authority. So just if you can go back. So this purple building we are currently working upon. So it's a very structured scheme. Having two committees. We are having a certification committee headed by again Mr. Mallikarjun ji, and we have the technical committee. So the technical committee would be reviewing all the international accessible guidelines, and they would be making criteria which are objectives, which are auditable, and which are traceable. So these all data, this all information is again passed on to the certification, which are, yes, not much technical, but more into administrative. So they would be dealing upon the auditor's training, the periodicity of the auditing, the fees, and maybe the training part and other related activities. So once we have the approval from both the technical committee and your certification committee, this goes to the steering committee. On the approval, it is rolled down as in a scheme. So this scheme is similar to the National Accreditation Board for hospitals. Okay, so this is a non-voluntary scheme, but yes, so all those institutions who take who implements these schemes, so they get suitable government incentives. So this is again one new initiative which we are working with Idea Foundation to have an empowerment center. Okay, wherein, so as I have mentioned, we are an aggregator of around 150 plus companies. So we are writing a proposal to have an empowerment center over here, wherein we'll pick up persons with disability, entrepreneurs with disability, and we will be providing suitable skill set, which is suitable to again the manufacturing partners within the zone. So be it training on electronics, be it training on any of the assembly of the parts of any of the medical devices. So this is yes, under the proposal stages, and we are soon going to have this empowerment center. This is again a very exciting initiative working along with Idea Foundations. So AMTZ along with the AP Tourism and Idea Foundation, we are trying to work on the blue tag certification for suitable coastal beaches. Okay, and coastal tourism spots aims to start with at Vishakhapatnam. So this blue tag recognition is internationally awarded recognition by your Foundation of Environmental Studies, given to those beaches or marinas who are having the highest standards of environmental standards or safety standards or accessibility. So out of the 33 criteria which this blue tag certification is having, so out of 33 criteria, there are 4 categories. So one of the key category is services and safety, which includes accessible facilities. So along with the support of AP Tourism Department and IDEA, we are trying to make a role model of how an accessible beach would be. So it's in the discussion stages, and we want to make an exemplary example to show that how an accessible beach can be. So we have also recently collaborated with few of the federations, okay, supporting persons with disability for various sports. We have collaborated with the Federation of Bosnia. We have collaborated with the Wheelchair Basketball Federation, supporting these players who are on wheelchairs, who are on special chairs, to have to host such events in at AMTZ, so that they also have this a sense of satisfaction and wellness when they come up over here. So this is to move ahead on that. We are also inaugurating the Center for Paralympic Sports. So we would be having this inauguration of this Paralympic Sports Academy very soon. We would be hosting all the 22 para sports as mentioned by the International Paralympic Committee. So very soon we'll have lot of persons with special abilities coming on here. We would be hosting lot of domestic and international matches at AMTZ under this Paralympic Committee. So here you have some of the images of the recently hosted 9th Bosnia Championship, wherein more than 200 athletes participated in more than 24 categories of games, and having around 256 games in total. So we also hosted the wheelchair basketball events, okay, wherein it was the interstate championship. We had hosted 4 states national championship. So this is this all supporting all this federation is towards to have this Paralympic Sports Academy at AMTZ. So this is a brief of what we are doing at AMTZ. So with the collaboration, with the support of all of you, we are seeking your support to support us, to collaborate with us, and maybe you can help us, provide us some idea, innovate with us, guide us something, so that all this noble initiative which we are working in collaboration with IDEA becomes a huge success. And thank you very much for your patient listening. And I also take this opportunity to invite you all to AMTZ. Just feel free to visit to AMTZ. This is a very unique such a facility spread across 275 acres with such an scientific centers where you will nowhere find in the world. Okay, so it's a good, very good experience. So you're most welcome. Most welcome. Please reach out to my team, Vinay ji is over here, myself, for any such queries or any such information. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Amitji. That gives us a deep insight about AMTZ's work, and it inspires us all. The Purple Building certification, the audits, and the new things happening. We wish you all the best, and we are all together in this. So the next speaker on the panel is Mr. Jaisal Shah. He offers turnkey surveillance solutions. He's the CEO iSurveillance from site. He offers turnkey surveillance solutions from site surveys and strategic camera installation to 24/7 remote monitoring through our advanced surveillance studio. His highly trained deaf vigilance officers ensure real-time incident reporting via WhatsApp and provide detailed reports for corrective action. His services are ideal for residential, commercial, and industrial spaces, enabling remote security management anywhere. So, Jaisal sir, you have the board. We are presenting a video for him.
I used to notice signs indicating under CCTV surveillance and wonder about its effectiveness. Upon inquiry with several establishments, I discovered that they only monitored the cameras when there was a theft or a major incident. This surprised me that there are huge investments in camera installments, but they are not being used effectively. I'm an engineer and have been involved in various businesses. There are almost 1.5 billion deaf people in the world. In India alone, there are 18 million deaf people and only 26% of them get employment opportunities. This leaves almost 74% of people jobless, depending on the mercy of their family and society. With this, I conceived the idea of starting a 24/7 surveillance service of cameras. One customer came, then the other. Our business grew steadily, acquiring new customers through word of mouth of satisfied customers. It makes me happy to see 6 successful years in this business, in which our team has expanded to 40 members, all of whom are deaf. Our staff is very happy.
Jaisal and I are family friends. One day Jaisal gave me the idea of surveillance business. I was very excited about the opportunity. Hence, our company, iSurveillance, was started on 1st December 2017. I was the first employee here. We offered services to control sabotage, theft, and improve productivity. Soon, word passed in the deaf community of this opportunity, and many people started approaching us. We also devised a good training program for all the new trainees. We as deaf have the same smartness and intelligence as normal people. But what makes us unique is our quick learning capabilities and being highly focused and sincere towards our job. Our training, apart from the surveillance, also covers English communication and behavioral communication. I am happy to see satisfactory clients referring our company to their friends. This is how we are growing.
I began as a vigilance officer and got good at it quickly. I properly understood customers' pains and started working on how we could detect abnormal activities and report to customers for quick action. We asked customers to create WhatsApp groups which include the concerned supervisor of the area, the manager and admin staff. We have detected very important incidents to prevent damages like sabotage, attempted theft, unreliable security staff and many more. Surveillance requires high focus and intelligence. While humans typically have 5 senses, as deaf individuals, we rely on 4, which naturally enhances the power of our vision. Our training is done in sign language as it is the most effective means of communication for deaf people.
There is a lot of empathy towards us in society, but very little is done to make us independent earning members in the family and live a respectful life. Me and my husband Jaisal are trying our best towards this. Getting more acceptance in mainstream business society will multiply these efforts for us. We have many women employees in iSurveillance. I help them and encourage them to be successful working women and also successful homemakers.
The future goal of AI in our company is to enable real-time analysis of video streams, providing instant alerts for security threats. This benefits us by improving incident response time and enhancing overall security measures. For clients, it means greater peace of mind knowing that their safety is being actively monitored and protected. AI is a good tool, but it cannot replace human beings 100%. The combination of AI with trained vigilance officers like an iSurveillance is the only solution.
This model is quite scalable because this is currently they are handling 3,000 cameras. Maybe another 1,000 cameras will be added in a month's time. But I am looking at it that this can be 4 lakh cameras. iSurveillance is very soon starting the CAD services, where the conversion of all the 3D drawings into 2D drawings, that is a kind of activity which iSurveillance will continue. And on an experimental basis, they already have one member joined and they have started this activity. which will be very soon expanded. Eye surveillance is an unique experiment in many ways because it is based on win-win situation for service receiver as well as service provider.
I said let's make use of installed cameras to prevent damages instead of using them to investigate how the damage has happened.
After all, prevention is better than cure, isn't it?
This is not only beneficial to all the individuals, businesses, but also serves an opportunity to serve the deaf community by making deaf community members proud earning members in their families.
Thank you, Mr. Jaisal Shah. Would you like to say a few words? No. Yeah, please, can you use the mic?
I am a deaf. Currently, I have 47 people working in my company. I do not want to stop, and I have a clear vision that I want many deaf people to work in that, and they get independent by working in it. They do not depend on their families and parents, and I want deaf people to become completely independent on themselves.
Thank you, sir. Sure.
Praveen bhai, your potential client, he is also from Pune. He can do wonders for Minda. So I just wanted both of you to meet when you are in Pune. Thank you.
Sure.
So, thank you, Mr. Shah, for this insight, and I'm sure turnkey surveillance solutions are going to be the future, and we are going to see you reaching new heights. Thank you so much. With that, we move on to our next panelist, Mr. Suraj Santosh Kumar. We've been meeting for the last 2 days. We have been talking at different points. He's the director, Prajahita Foundation. And the Prajahita Foundation works towards creating awareness for people with disability. They educate, rehabilitate, and empower youth with disabilities to lead independent lives and give them exposure like a day trip, interaction with the volunteers across different backgrounds. So, Mr. Suraj, we welcome you, and the floor is all yours.
So, hi everyone, my name is Suraj. So, as a non-profit organization, why I'm here? Because it's this panel is mostly focusing on assistive technology and workplace. So, let me tell you why through certain slides. So, I actually want to tell the pink elephant in the room. Quite often, what we focus is there are assistive solutions which can actually transform people with disabilities life. There are actually accessible workplace which can actually provide livelihood for a person with disability. There are actually very talented workforce, but doesn't know how to get connected with each of these small pink elephants. So my role is to aggregate the resources which are in the community and ensure both the skill or the hope of an individual with the skill set and the quality of a good trained institution brought in together to create a life. So how I am doing it? So just let's see the scenario across India and actually in Latin America. So if you see about 50% of persons with disability are doesn't have an employment opportunity, and which is compared to 76% of people without disability. And India rate is so high. So even a state which is Kerala, which has 100% literacy, our total the permanent employment opportunity is less than 15%. So India as a whole, 80% of urban population and 90% in rural population does not have an employment. And even in Latin America, it's two to three times lower than compared to other disability. And we see discrimination and lack of accessibility as the major challenge for this disconnect. And if you see the rates, unemployment rate across people with disability and non-disabled people, the whole statistics shows always a marginalized community is there, and we as Latin American India is almost close to each other. So how can we solve this problem? So we see that in barriers for workforce is one, workplace accessibility is not there, limited skill development program is happening, and there is also a unconscious bias with able mindset, with non-disabled mindset. And there are like policies in place, very good policies in place. So India has equal opportunity policy, but it's not legally enforceable. Like it's not very stringent to get employment opportunity. But the current central and state government is pushing to make it more stringent. So that is regarding the workforce, unemployment. So let's see to entrepreneurs with disability. So if you see 0.5% of startups are led by people with disability. So we are a population of 15% of the total population. 15% of population is people with disability, but we have less than 1% who is actually led by us. So this is something very like how can we solve this population problem? So this is where like we thought like to make this a possible solution, it should be hyper local, because proximity is the biggest solution for our community. So we thought like let's build and work for accessibility and accommodation hiring process which is inclusive, and do capacity building and policy and advocacy. How we did this, next slide. Next slide. Yeah, so we did it with three major projects. One, we actually provided fellowship program for people with disability to explore various job roles. And we did a training which is inclusive of soft skill capability, reasonable accommodation for their disability, and also core competency which is required for each skill set. So we mapped close to 260 job roles which can be done hyperlocal, and ensured these skill sets are brought in together to customize employment for people with disability. And we didn't stop there. So some are like so aspirational. So we thought like, can we create a platform which will enable who are very successful in their skill set to be an entrepreneur and become a best practice entrepreneur for that. So we started iCafe. So for the last 5 years, we are working in Kerala and Tamil Nadu, focusing on major of the ecosystem transition and carrying out these activity. Next slide. So this is how we did it. So we called it compassionate business, where we work with person with disability to ideate, identify, and also allocate resources to start their ventures, aggregate solutions which are possible to run a successful business, and this is not possible for able individual. So always business is at risk. So we made it so accessible so that anyone can actually try this out. And we create, last slide. And we connected. So one of the biggest disconnect is like we doesn't know what is the our purple elephant looks like. So we want to connect the community to normal general business community. How can we do it? Through integration only. So we had a mentorship program where business management associations comes together and do the mentoring for our individual and engage entrepreneurship both in business success and failure. So far we were able to actually impact 400 plus individual with disability, provide social investment which enable them to start their own business. And so what we do is like we identify markets, provide resources for starting their business, and enable them to create it with current successful businesses. So when we do it at scale, we don't have right resources. So what we did is like how can we actually make this most lean solution? So we actually mapped all the special school across our districts of operation where the quality of information and dissemination training is carried out, so that that reduces the cost, and people with disability from the community can come in and do the training in the school itself, and this also facilitate as a market maker, because from the community itself they were investing in the school to run the business ideas. And we also ensured this enhancement of support and skill development happens with the colleges nearby. So volunteers who are from the college institutions, which are like IIT Palakkad, they came, they did the identification, they did the market outreach, and they also supported our trainers to make it better. So what is the role of people with disability and their caregivers? So we found so much potential. So what we did is like we ensure they are the resource agents, so who mobilize the resources. We were just guiding them, and sensitization of running this business is carried out by caregivers and people with disability, and the resources was collected by them, not by us. So here all like as like when the previous speaker was saying, so we were actually giving individual how to catch the fish rather than giving the fish. So that's our model of how we are enabling the ecosystem. And we one of the example is one of our stores run by people with disability, which is called Smile Stores. So we have a centralized micro stores across 2 districts in Kerala, which manages kiosk in the neighborhood, which is also operated by person with disability. This also acts as a dark store for us, and person with disability in tricycle actually delivered to the community. So this is one of the business which we are running. Similarly, we have a SaaS company, we have we have a logistic company similar to this, and we are currently building a fintech company which will do financial management services for person with disability. So since we are like talking about business, let's actually SIP. For SIP for us is actually spreading the message of compassion and also bringing the awareness about accessibility and advocacy, invest in disability inclusive model. So rather than like can we create a universal design in business which will enable any person to come in and work. So that is something which we are looking at, and you can also partner with us to be a buddy for our entrepreneurs to solve this problem globally. Thank you. Yeah. Thanks. Yeah, you can refer.
Thank you, Surajji. It was great listening to you. Move on to our next speaker. There are 2 of them left, Sugandha ji and Praveen, Mr. Praveen Khan. Praveen ji, I would like to request you, sir, being a veteran, just ask you, sir, would you like to go ahead now, or would you like to sum up the discussion speaking at last?
Your call, sir. I'm comfortable either way.
So we would like you to sum up the discussion, sir. So just hold on with us. Meanwhile, we have with us our next speaker, Ms. Sugandha Sukrat Raj, It was very interesting meeting you this morning, ma'am. And she is the founder of Amba for Life. She's been the founder and the CEO for the organization, also known as Amba. She's going to present it very interestingly. An organization dedicated to empowering adults with moderate to severe intellectual disabilities through economic opportunities and skill development, utilizing technology and peer training as key tool. She was also recognized as an Ashoka Fellow for her work in this field. And believe me, whatever I have said is very little than what she is doing. So we hand over the stage to ma'am. And ma'am, please take us through the insight. Thank you. You're welcome.
And Pankaj, youngest in the room, she's 72-year-old.
Yes.
Not yet.
No, not younger than Nikhil, sir.
Not yet.
You,
I turned 70 this year. Right. I'm going to make it easy for you. Make sure that I don't speak. I'm going to allow my team to actually present what Amba is and then probably say as little as possible thereafter. But thank you so much, Malika, and thank you so much for bearing with us, all of you. And the panel, you guys are absolutely amazing. And I look forward to engaging with you going forward. So here's to my team, my colleagues.
People say beauty is in the eyes of the beholder, but I am beautiful in my eyes. I believe, and my belief should reflect on everyone else sees me. My name is Bhagi Srinivasan. I am runner-up CII Women Examiner 2017 for education. My colleagues and I have many associate challenges which deter us from studying and working in the mainstream. I have seizures. This has my civil policy, but our lack of social skills is the biggest challenge for my colleagues across India.
My name is Priya. I manage the non-computer activity. I won the CI Women's Health Sampler 2013 for education.
Therefore, Amba certified person centered all ACPCs as we call them as the best selection for our community. 80% of the ACPCs are in rural India. 40+% are women. My name is Jit Popana. I won the MacGyver Rotary Award online during the pandemic. The four of us are peer directors and associate trustees with the Amba Core Center in Bangalore.
We represent the community of adults with moderate to severe intellectually disability and correctly enable learning leading to functional back-end work for companies in India and overseas.
My name is Sidhu Tekil. I won the Helen Keller Award in 2016 for being the Outstanding Employee of the Year. We are proud to say that Amba is an ecosystem using technology and the copyright curriculum for us and by us.
What lies ahead of us? The sky is the limit. So taking technology to this amazing community has been the greatest privilege of my life. I mean, it fills me with joy and so much of, to have colleagues like this every day, it's absolutely out of this world. But having said that, what we have in place is a technology solution which enables our youngsters with intellectual disability and absolutely no possibility of studying or working within mainstream environments to be able to do back-end work for companies. So prior to global automation, if you can just, is it possible to put the slides on?
Okay, don't worry. I think I'll just wing it. Just don't worry. I think it'll be much easier for everyone if I just wing it. And so if I can just get you to imagine, you know, these are people who cannot recognize an A, B, or C except as an image. And what we do is we leverage this visual capacity that they have within them. And the entire curriculum is evolved around technology, peer-driven processes, leadership. Initially, you know, when a leader comes and stands in front, they don't even know what leadership is all about. But they just feel important that they are there standing in front. And, you know, they've been chosen for this very important purpose. But as they go along without any, how would I put it, any kind of, you know, if I keep talking to them, everything is going to go over their heads, right? So it's all about visual processes and experiences which enable them to very gradually get into doing data processing. And we were doing only data processing and audit of supporting documents till global automation hit us. We have enabled work to over 2,058 people. Yeah, this is it. So, you know, as my colleagues told you, 80% of our centers are in rural India. We've shared with over 501 registered organizations and shared it all free of cost. When I when I started exploring collaborations with organizations, there were just 2% who were women, because even regular mothers, you know, were worried about their girls going out during puberty, right? But today, because of the can you just change the slide, please? Can you just take it to the next slide, since we have very little time? I don't want to take too much of time. We may come back to this later. So we realized we didn't want to reinvent the wheel, you know. We realized that we could use existing spaces. So we've collaborated with 501 registered organizations across India. And we use existing collateral. So we use their space. We use the knowledge they have about the community. We thereafter, what we do is we take our learning, the curriculum that we have, completely free of cost to them. Then the third stakeholder is the corporate CSR, who gives us the software, helps us with, you know, developing software, gives us all the technology that we need, laptops especially, because in villages there is very little space really for people to operate these kind of learning and earning centers. And of course, the most important thing is, these are youngsters. You can't give them a certificate and say, go out and work, go find yourself a job. Because they firstly cannot coexist within mainstream environments, right? Because of the social skill limitations that they have. So therefore, we have to find work for them. That's the most important part of the puzzle. But because of information technology, we're able to do that. Can you just go back, please? We are not just able to do that, but we are able to stay compliant. We meet all the requirements of a mainstream environment. Now you could get to the next thing. As I said, I can't give them a certificate and say, go find yourself a job. So we have to find work for them. So one of the first jobs that we look out for, because 80% of our centers are in villages, is large volume work. At the moment, post the pandemic, we have enabled over 200 people jobs within 10 states doing the back-end work for Bombay Stock Exchange. Can you just, think about people with no ability to even recognize A, B, or C are doing the back-end work for Bombay Stock Exchange. And thank you. And in the second area, like my villages are what, I'm looking for jobs for them more often than anywhere else. Because in the urban, there's always some way that you can sustain the program. But recently, London Stock Exchange came and visited with us and saw the amazing impact of the work that we're doing for Bombay Stock Exchange. And in the urban areas, thanks to their response, we are placing clusters of our community, clusters of 10, clusters of 20, within the, within the company itself in urban India, and making sure that we have one supervisor, because you can't load the company with the responsibilities that come with intellectual disability, right? So there's a supervisor trained by us that we make sure that they are there to take care of things. There's so much more to tell you, but I'm going to just stop at that. Very important that you can get work out of empathy and sympathy, but to keep the job, you have to be compliant. You have to make sure that you meet the service level agreements of the client. So therefore, what we do is we've got a simulation process in place using dummy forms, and we make sure that we, they meet all the requirements of the company while they are working with dummy forms before we bring them into live work. Obviously, can I just stay with that? Obviously, attrition is zero because there is nowhere else they can go. And the accuracy is 100% because there's no reasoning involved. And what's fascinating is the visual detection of numbers, whether it is 10 or 100 or 10,000 or 1 lakh. They're not counting zeros. They're looking at the whole image of the number, and then they do the data processing. Needless to say, this is an extremely empowered society. We have enabled work, I repeat it again. Thanks to this community that makes it happen, we've enabled work to 2,058 youngsters across India. Over 8,000 people are in different stages of training, and over 30,000 families are impacted by this socially. And because of all the showcase, there are tons of awards that Amba has won, thanks to my team. But it's those 4 awards that they talked about, national awards won by my peers with intellectual disability, that, make me feel proudest about. My last slide. Community participation is what has enabled us to do what we are doing. And I implore the few people who are left out here to please engage with us if possible, if you're interested. Because, we need smart minds. We need smart minds and smart solutions to be able to take this forward into sustainability. Thank you so much again, Malika. Thank you, guys.
So, thank you, ma'am. It's really amazing the work that your organization has been doing. And now we come to our last speaker, last but not the least, Mr. Praveen Khan, Head Group Sustainability and CSR, Minda Group. Spark Minda Group sets benchmarks in both businesses and community development, ensuring sustainable impact through initiatives aligned with SDGs and Indian government programs. With strong ground-level execution and stakeholder support, the team drives meaningful outcomes. Focused on implementation and scalability, the group continually serves for excellence in every project. So, Praveenji, I leave the stage to you for bringing together all that has been discussed and adding your own points, sir. Welcome.
Thank you very much, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, you are.
Thank you. I'll keep it very short because I know I'm the last speaker and people have to go back home. But let me greet first of all to all of you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, those who have joined in from different parts of the world. Well, if you really ask me that what is my experience about this subject, where we have been working for close to a little more than a decade, we have learned a lot. That's the first thing I would like to say. I would like to take you to think about a situation where you are in a village. In that village, there's a lady. The woman is a lady with disability, and the type of disability she has is visual impairment. And now think that she's pregnant. And now think about the deprivation that she has. I requested you, all of you present out there and listening to me to empathize on this situation, because there are many such situations which is emerging in our country and which we have to address. And forums like this, I must compliment IDEA for bringing all of us together to discuss about these problem statements and to find out the solution to these problem statements. To talk about the good piece of works that many of the organizations have done. And I could get an opportunity to hear from many of you. My apology, I'm not able to be physically present because of some occupancy. But I am quite inspired listening to many of my co-panelists here and the works that they've been doing, and we're very, very happy to collaborate with them. Coming to the piece of work that we have been doing at Spark Minda, we looked at this subject, did some bit of scientific studies, looked at the statistics of the country, found the UP being the state with highest number of people with disability, followed by Maharashtra. Entered to these states, looked at the problems and found that there were issues related to accessibility where prioritizing on locomotive disability, we found that only close to 25%, the quarter of the population of the locomotive people with disability have got accessible aid from the government. Looking at the issues of scaling up the young population of PWDs, the challenges that they are facing majorly in the rural parts of the country for getting their UPID, their Pahchan Patra for that reason. The issues related to their employment and entrepreneurship. These were the problem statements, and how can we address to that? We picked up one of the disability called locomotive disability, which is highest in number in our country, and then we started providing accessible aid. I'm glad to tell you that Alimco is also that one organization with whom we have been working. We have been doing camps for people with locomotive disability in different parts of the country, including Jammu and Kashmir, within an army, to reach to the people who are affected by landmines. And we have been doing prosthetic and orthotic fitment for them. We have just not restricted ourselves in India, but we have also gone to Indonesia and Vietnam, where our factories are present and benefit people out there. And we are proud to share that we have 25,000 fitments done, reached to 25,000 lives till date in last approximately 10 years. Coming to the skilling part of it, we knew that we are not the solution for the problem statement for which we have our expertise in. Therefore, we partnered with Sector Council People with Disability, and we provided the solution to upskilling to people with disability who are aspiring to build their career in automobile sector. Spark Minda being an automotive company, we are having our factories in India, 28 factories in India with a workforce of close to 18,000. So with the sector council, we are trying to get in touch with partner NGOs, and they are skilling people with different types of disabilities to us, and they are giving them to us for getting them on some kind of livelihood promotion work. UDID, that was another challenge. As a problem statement identified, approximately 10 million people with disability in India have it. However, the population is close to 30 to 40 million, I guess, would be a little more post the counting if that is done. So we provide that support to that facilitation. Now coming to the best part of the project that we have done, where we have done a job mapping exercise at Spark Minda factories, where on the x-axis we kept all types of disability, and on the y-axis we put in different types of functions in manufacturing and also in non-manufacturing. We are one of the first manufacturing companies in India to employ people with disabilities across our group, and we are proud to share that we have 1,300 people with disability working across our group. All 28 factories we have people with disability. Thank you very much for this, but let me tell you that this journey wasn't easy. We could do an exercise of job mapping with our HR manager, operation person, production person, CSR person, and we all collectively tried to think that what type of disability fits into what type of job. And then after that exercise, we started engaging people with disability in the kind of manufacturing works that we have done, that we have been doing. We did some bit of ergonomical changes also, adding kind of sitting arrangements, some sensors, some of those ergonomical solutions which is required, and we try to make our factories accessible for different types of disabilities across the group. I mean, considering the statistics, 26% is the unemployment rate for people with disability, but we are proud that we are able to have some of them. But the journey should not and will not stop here. We are partnering with other organizations who will employ people with disability in different organizations. We are one of the founding members of India Business Disability Network, where many other companies are joining hands to help people with disability getting jobs. Well, some food for thought before I stop talking about it. Maybe collaboration is a solution where, along with the government, NGO partners, district administration, panchayat, we have been trying to reach to people with disability and to bring in that inclusion, which we all understand the stories of discriminations and social exclusions which happen for people with disability. Let us think about the PWDs in the panchayat, especially the women. 70% of the population of PWDs stay in rural area. Think of probably the health related issues that they are facing, the medical treatment that they need to get, the health insurances which is needed for them, which they are said no for. Think about the loans for the PWDs to be obtaining from the banks, although we have the national and the state fund dedicated for them, but how many of them are able to access it? Thinking about the transportation for them, thinking about the lack of information for them, thinking about the mental health issues for them, the education for them. I would like to propose a 7-point framework here. Quickly think about these few words also. First is prevention, second is awareness, third is employment, fourth is measurement, fifth is education, sixth is accessibility, and seventh is policy intervention. And if we do all of them collectively, we can get it. I'll stop here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for giving us that very invaluable food for the thought, the 7-point framework. I'm sure collaborations is something that we all are looking forward to, and that was the purpose of our program today. As we conclude our session on assistive technology and corporate world linkages, it is quite evident that innovation and inclusivity must go hand in hand to create a truly accessible and equitable society. And it is only by fostering strong partnerships between technology providers, businesses, and policymakers that we can drive an inclusive economy where talent knows no barrier. With that, I would like to thank each one of our panelists for their valuable contribution. Heartfelt thanks to each one of you, sir, ma'am. Thank you so much.
May I log out?
Yes, thank you. So we'll send you the virtual gift. We are giving products made by our entrepreneurs. We'll send you one. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Goodbye to all of you. Stay connected.
I have your number.
Sir, we can meet for the group photo. Thanks, Maria, for facilitations. Thanks, everybody.